Welcome to the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. They do it all at 108th and Kedzie. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver.
Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Pointless Exercise Podcast. We're going to talk the trade deadline and the Cubs with Praz and Oleg.
So
Hello. Guys, how are you? I think the Cubs should trade for Framber Valdez. He's going to be very well rested.
I hear the Tigers are trying to get rid of him. So, yeah, let's do that. Trade value's down.
Sorry, I have a question. Is the fibula the big ass bone in your leg, or is that one of the smaller ones? No, the femur is the big ass one.
Okay.
The fibula is the bottom. Okay, got it.
What are you asking? Which one Trent Thornton broke last night?
No. I was gonna...
Kick save and a beauty. Why do pitchers keep throwing the ball after that? You see, he almost threw it in the right field. It's like, okay, there's no play. Yeah. Just stop. Just fall on the fumble. Maybe that's why he figured he'd lay on the ball and wouldn't be able to roll over, and everyone would score.
Well, we need to have Tom Thayer in the booth to yell "ball" when that happens, just so they know to do that.
Hub used to do that first. That was even more annoying. Yeah, that's a quality radio broadcast that the Bears have, almost as good as everybody else. But anyway, the Cubs are. What did I see? They have the 6th best record in baseball. Is that right?
4th best in the National League.
Pretty good.
So if you're Jed Hoyer, your plan has worked perfectly.
Here's what is kind of interesting.
Just keep adding.
Yeah. There are teams. I don't know what this says about the Cubs because their underlying stats are okay. Like it's weird, and maybe this just goes to Craig's managerial prowess. But they deservedly only had one All-Star, whereas the Phillies had like 6 and were like a half a game worse than them.
Yeah.
Or a game and a half worse. And there's other teams who had multiple All-Stars who are having worse years than the Cubs are. Right? The Twins had 2 All-Stars.
The White Sox had 2.
Yeah, Joe Ryan and Byron Buxton. Yeah. Well, the White Sox initially only had 1, and then they had 2 additions later.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, they had 3. That's right. Because what's his name? Tristan Peters? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to call bullshit on the Savannah Banana thing. I mean, I know he played for them.
Okay.
But he played for the Bananas just in between finishing college and before the draft.
Right.
They make it sound like he was out of baseball, played for the Bananas. Like he just did it for extra bucks in between the draft, in between the season and the draft.
Is that right?
Like,
that's funny.
Yeah. But they act like, I know it's true. He's a former Savannah Banana, but he's basically a ringer on the Bananas. It's not like he was, he somehow rescued his career by playing for them. He just did it because he didn't have any fucking money. So
hey, if he goes into a slump this week, he'll be at Wrigley this weekend because the Savannah Bananas will be here. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I was gonna say they could put him on the stilts and he'd go out there.
Right.
But you know who I think could use some time with the Bananas? How about let's give Ian Happ a month with the Bananas, and he can work on his right-handed swing.
Yeah. Just tell him to hit right-handed only. Yep. They can't option him. Give the Bananas, just give them meal money for him too. Like they don't have to worry about.
He would not like all the running around. There's too many. There's too much running for Ian. He would not. That wouldn't be cool with him.
Not enough time for him to look into his hat and look at the dots.
They make a whole thing out of that.
Right.
Like, put the dots up on the scoreboard.
So everybody could do it then.
Yeah, everybody can do it.
Everybody train your eyes.
Turns out it's like an eclipse.
Yeah, everybody goes blind.
Yeah.
Right.
How was the banana? It was great till the 3rd inning and I went blind. So it was okay. It was still okay after that. Well, anyway, so the Cubs are comfortably right now in a wild card spot, like 4.5 games up.
Yes.
What could go wrong? Nothing.
I'm sure.
So the big decision Jed's got, now he has less than 2 weeks now.
Okay.
To figure out what to add to this juggernaut to push them over the top. And I did think it was kind of bad when he somehow reiterated again. Well, I think if you thought you could get one of the buys, you'd be really aggressive, knowing that they have a snowball's chance in hell of getting one of the buys. In other words, I'm probably not going to do anything big. Why would I? That didn't stop me today in the newsletter from laying out the list of who he should be after, who I thought he actually would be after, and then the sad list of who he'll probably end up settling for.
Yeah.
But I thought I could get your expert opinions on some of these guys as to whether or not. The reason I asked
about the fibula is that's what Clay Holmes has broken.
He pitched after he broke his leg. He pitched to 7 more batters.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Joel Youngblood stuff, huh?
So
is that
the big? That's right. Played a Super Bowl with a broken leg.
Yeah. Is that the guy? Yeah.
How come Tim Crumrye didn't play with his? Just because the bone was sticking out of his skin? Sissy, I thought you were a football player.
Yeah. Why didn't Kevin Ware stay in that one college basketball game?
Was that when he's the one who fell off the court for Louisville? Was Kevin Ware?
He was the one
that's how he broke his leg. It was like the elevated court, and he fell off of it and snapped his leg.
Yeah, maybe. But that was the one where like the bone was like sticking out, kind of. Yeah.
Oh.
T.O. played Super Bowl with broken leg.
Right. Did he?
Yep.
Huh.
The one against the one for the Eagles against the Patriots.
I remember that. Interesting. I always liked Terrell Holmes.
So I don't know why Holmes isn't pitching right now. He should be showcasing himself. That's the problem with him is that he's not going to be back till after the deadline. So you're just going to have to be like, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
That seems like a Jed trade.
Yeah.
Trade for the pre-injured.
Yep. No, you don't have to worry about making any transactions to put him on the IL.
Yeah, he'll start out on the IL.
Yeah.
Can you trade him on the IL, or do the Mets have to activate him? Let's trade him to the Cubs, and the Cubs have to IL him.
I don't know. Like the Cubs have to lose someone off their 26-man roster in order to.
I don't know. Well,
I don't think so.
Didn't the move?
They wouldn't have to put him on. I guess it wouldn't matter, right?
Well, no,
I guess it would matter for the Mets.
I think
because he's on the 60 day. He's on the 60-day IL. I'll bet he has to.
Yeah, for the Mets won't matter, right?
I'll bet he has to be back. I bet he has to be off the 60-day IL to get traded.
Like he has to be actually on the 40-man roster
because he's not taking up a 40-man spot right now.
Yeah.
I think too the move the Dodgers made. What was it, yesterday or Sunday, where they traded for the guy from the Rockies, Seth Halverson? I think he is on the injured list right now. So yeah, you technically could do that if you wanted to.
Jed should just trade for all hurt guys.
There we go.
Yeah. I mean, he's already got the IL is already fairly like they could have a conference.
Yeah. How many slots do they have?
They could rent out the McCormick.
Like they get a call from Rob Manfred. He's like, I was just looking. You don't have any IL slots left. You're gonna have to drop somebody.
It's like a fantasy league. You only get 4.
He's like the fantasy commissioner. He's like,
it'll be Tom Ricketts. Go ahead.
He's like, hey, did you know Phil Maton has come off the injured list and you got to activate him?
Yeah.
I think his knee hurts again. We'll just put him right back on. Okay.
Right. His knee hurts.
Well, it was going to be Tom Ricketts first bitching about having to pay the insurance premium. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I wasn't expecting to pay this guy the rest of the year. Let's go.
Right.
That's all right. I mean, the Cubs will be fine once Hunter Harvey comes back.
I'm sure. Is he going to be back?
I don't think so.
Sounding like it's probably Shelby Miller has a better chance to pitch this year than Greg Miller.
That's right.
Oh
my God. Or Hunter Harvey does.
Tyler Austin has a better chance of coming back.
Where is Tyler? I thought he was supposed to be back by now.
Oh yeah, that's that first baseman, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What did happen to him?
No updates.
Huh.
When they do their updates, they don't even. He's not even listed.
They probably forgot they had him.
Yeah. He underwent patellar tendon debridement a patellar tendon debridement procedure in February, keeping him sidelined for months, out until at least late May. It's almost August. We still haven't seen good old Tyler.
Yeah, it's like
I probably
it's like
can. I think I can
Trump
send
hunting.
back the Tyler Austin jersey I had made in the team shop.
If it was from the Cubs directly, there's no refunds on that.
Oh God, no. Jesus Christ.
I mean, you can't. I feel bad for Jed. That was a key part of this roster build with Tyler Austin. He hasn't been able to have him all year.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
Wow, this is some.
So the thing that is complicating the even predicting, is there's too damn many teams that are still somewhat in the playoff race.
Yep. Well, I will say this. One thing the point that I wanted to make a little bit earlier when you brought this up is I was actually after reading, like I hadn't thought about it in this much depth, but there's way more players available than I thought there would be, right? Like, there's some good ideas. And so I was a little surprised by there might be some options, but then I thought about how many teams are still in who might want to make trades. Now the teams who are kind of like on the bubble probably aren't going to be going out and trying to get Tarik Skubal.
No.
Right. So the competition for each player may not be as deep as you think.
The Athletic has the fits for Skubal. The three teams they think: Cubs, Dodgers, and Rays.
Yeah.
Of those teams, who do you think is the least likely to actually make an offer? Yeah.
Sadly,
it does kind of feel like a Rays thing. Who was it last year they tried to get? Oh no, it was when when the Angels wouldn't trade Shohei.
Yeah.
The Rays were trying to get him. They're like, we'll go through a one playoff run with him, see what happens. But
that's because they're a forward-thinking team.
Yep. And the Dodgers, that's the Ken Rosenthal line about that Andrew Friedman and the Dodgers just hang around the backboard.
Yeah.
And the ball bounces to him, and what do you know? We picked up Tarik Skubal at the deadline. Screw the rest of it.
I mean, they're like they're just kind of hanging back with Glasnow and Snell in the IL. They don't even give a shit about bringing them back like before.
No. Until the Brewers now have the best record in the National League by like a half game.
Yeah.
So even without trying, the Dodgers for most of the year have had the best record in the National League.
Yeah.
Well, and as we saw too last year, the Dodgers don't really make it a priority to be one of the bye teams either. I mean, they were the number 3 team last year in the World Series. So
I mean, they had a bye. They had to play the Reds during
it. Yes,
it was still a bye.
The Reds in that series were basically spring training games for the playoffs.
And then they took their home field advantage back after one night in Milwaukee. They were like, okay, everything's fine now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of the Dodgers, are you guys have you seen those commercials that the owners have for the salary cap and the salary floor that they keep showing on MLB Network or wherever?
Yeah. Garbage.
Running. What fan is dumb enough to be like, they make some good points?
Yeah, I think there's exactly one fan base that's on board with that, and it would be Pirates fans.
They're pretty good this year.
They are, and that's why I think they would be on board with it, to help them try and like maintain the good team that they have.
Yeah, I don't think that would do it.
No, it was crazy to me that they waited an entire season before they're like, oh, you know what? We're only going to have Skeens for like 4 more years. Maybe we should try to win right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Maybe you should have tried doing that about 2 years earlier.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's spending, like they made some shrewd moves. They're not bad, but they just go on and spend another $20 or $30 million. They could be really, really good. Like Marcell Zuna's fine, but
and they'd still have a ridiculously low payroll. I mean, it's not like we're asking them to get to 200 million. They're barely over 100, right?
Right. Like I wondered, that's on the owner. That's got a salary.
That's great. Bob Nutting. That's their own. Yep. I wondered last night watching the Cubs in the bottom of the 9th with Seiya taking a mind-boggling strikeout and then Bregman getting out of the way of a pitch that would have won the game. I think the Cubs threw that game so that to make it less likely that Skubal will get traded to the Dodgers or the Brewers. And the only guy who missed the meeting was Happ. And he accidentally hit the home run. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? What? Yeah. Are we playing the Tigers? Yeah. Oh, shit.
Judd came down to the dugout.
I'll go bet right-handed again the whole rest of the time. I'll be helpless as a kitten. Don't worry about it.
There you go. Yeah. Judd came down to the dugout in the bottom of the ninth and told Seiya and Bregman, all right, you guys got to strike out here because we cannot win this game.
It's like the opposite of the owner from Slapshot. Instead of going, we're losing, he's like, we're tied. What are you doing? We're tied.
Right. You know what? I'm sorry, by the way. Let me refer to Jed by his proper name of Twinkle Dumb. Sorry.
Oh, God.
Shout out Bruce Levine.
Shout out Theo Epstein. That was.
Oh, yes, the shirt. That was fantastic.
That shirt was so, man.
I would like to know the story behind the shirt. Like, who made it and gave it to him? Did he have it made? I really want to know.
Speaking of Slapshot, I was reminded of the movie when I saw the video of the guy smacking the kid in the head for the national anthem. I was reminded of like that scene where the ref is like yelling at the guy.
Oh, in the Hanson brothers' face, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, what an asshole that guy is.
Yeah, whatever. Like, no need to. There's a pretty loud majority. I mean, the kid like was just super cool. He didn't even he's like, don't worry about the guy. Everything's whatever.
That was a situation. Sorry, just one more thing on this. If I was in that kid's situation, I'm typically not someone who will sit for an anthem, but if I was in that kid's situation, I would have just stayed seated and seen how long it would have gone for that old guy to keep antagonizing him to the point where security would have noticed.
Yeah, I don't know.
How great would it have been if the kid had to he had those crutches, the ones that go above the elbow, and he's like does this, and then it takes him like the song's over before he stands up, and he's like, "Are you fucking happy now?" Yeah, we should have planned ahead.
What about Tigers? Sorry.
Okay, so if the Tigers trade Skubal and the Twins trade Joe Ryan, which package? Who gets the better package, the Twins or the Tigers? Because if you trade for Joe Ryan, you get him for 2 years, not just one. See, actually, Skubal's better. He's the best pitcher.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But you get more for Ryan because you get the rest of this year and next year.
Right. And Joe Ryan, I would think, would be less of an injury risk, too.
Oh, but it doesn't matter. If Skubal gets hurt, they just do the magic Boris thing to his elbow again. He'll be ready to go the next day.
The magic Boris thing.
Stick that little meat thermometer in the elbow and root it around, and you're good to go.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think I the way that we normally think about trades, hardly ever work out that way, right? Like the idea that we have these top prospects or whatever else, other teams have a totally different evaluation system, right? So I don't know. I think when we look at it, right away, if they both get traded, I think Skubal gets the better package because he's just simply better, and that's it'll take somebody from a into a World Series favorite, like whoever trades for him, because that's who's going to trade for him. Whereas Joe Ryan, because of the 2 years, I mean that might be undermining my point because then it's there's more competition.
I think you're right, but let me put it this way: the way that Cub prospect perverts can contextualize.
Okay.
Who would you rather trade James Triantos for?
Okay.
Tarik Skubal or Joe Ryan? And the answer, of course, is nobody.
Right.
I'm not trading for anybody.
Right. Hold on. Yeah. Skubal plus. Yeah. Like McCoy.
Skubal and Kevin McGonigal.
McGonigal?
There you go.
McGonigal?
You got to throw him in to get Triantos.
Yeah.
Like, well, you got
both teams
Triantos.
too.
You can just play. You can play him at short.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're going to bench McGonigal for Triantos anyway. You might as well just give him to us.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if if one of and I'm sure we've had these guys in it, but like if you just had like an obnoxious fantasy owner who like took over one of the teams, like Woody, like, you know, they say Woody Johnson's kid.
Yeah.
Like we'll come down and tell him like, we should get this guy. He's a 94 in Madden. Wouldn't it be great if somebody turned the deadline over to like that kid?
Oh man.
And he's calling other teams.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you gonna? No, you're just gonna bench him for Triantos anyway. You might as well give him to us.
That's a good point.
Who would you rather get if the Cubs?
I mean,
by the looks of it,
Skubal.
who would you rather have?
Skubal.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about next year. Like I was fine with 1 year of
going to be a lockout anyway.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about next year.
Yeah. Skubal.
Besides, you'll have Jackson Wiggins next year. You won't even need Skubal. You'll have like right-handed Skubal and Jackson
right-handed Skubal. Paul Skeens. You have the second coming of Paul Skeens.
I guess the better way to look at this is if you look back to last year's trade deadline, the best pitcher that moved was Merrill Kelly, you would say. And if you look at the return in that, like none of the guys in that deal were top 100 prospects from the Rangers.
Yeah, because he's Merrill Kelly.
Because he's Merrill Kelly. But think about what the rumored package was for, say, Mackenzie Gore when the Cubs were in those talks, that it was going to be like Matt Shaw and Jackson Wiggins and Cade Horton, you know, for
but we actually saw what those guys got in the offseason, right? Like you actually saw like it was the same thing for Edward Cabrera, and all ended up costing was Owen Casey, who had a good 2 weeks in the
right. Which there's no way that the Cubs didn't offer that at the deadline, and the Marlins wouldn't take it. And then 3 months later, like, okay, fine. That's
So and we said let's take the Gore. What did Gore end up costing the Rangers?
That's a good question.
Whatever, but that's my point. Was it
they traded Odabe McDowell and Toby Hara?
Yep.
And
Pete Incaviglia.
Yeah. Was it
Jeff Burrows? Yep. There you go.
Jeff, Sean's dad.
Sean's dad. Right.
But here, this might be a reason to trade for Skubal too. According to this, he throws left-handed, but he bats right-handed.
Oh,
so he can play left field against lefties.
There we go.
Yes,
and pitch.
Before we were done for that,
he could hit 160. I guarantee you that. It wouldn't cost.
I was going to say
there's much better.
There's no way he's worse
there too.
Yeah.
Yep. It's Jed Hoyer would be like, well, you got how much in arbitration? Oh yeah, you're playing left field too.
That's right. No, you're playing every day.
Yeah.
I mean,
get the hell out.
And they're telling him like, you can either pitch every day, or you can pitch and then play left field. What do you want there, tough guy?
And then on the off days, you have to mow the grass.
Well, and we know actually that you could rent him out to the Bears on Sundays because we saw him in the playoffs. Remember when he hiked the ball to first base?
Oh, he did.
On the bunt, and he threw it into right. It went into right field.
Right.
So he's got long snapper experience, and the Bears don't have a veteran long snapper.
Right.
Hey, they're looking for a new center
all
too.
Coming together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now the trade could be Matt Shaw, Jackson Wiggins, and Cole Kmet.
Yes.
For Tarik Skubal.
Sam Roush. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
God.
Or maybe now you can finally trade Braxton Jones.
Well, Kmet played baseball in Notre Dame, so he can play for both the Tigers and that's why he does the home run swing on the rare occasion that he scored.
Was he reverse Jeff Samardzija at Notre Dame, where he started out playing baseball and then transitioned to football?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And I think he had to give up the old baseball when he proved to be second.
Sure.
You know, he was going to be he was going to be a high draft pick. That was the end of baseball for Cole. He's left-handed because they occasionally will run a fake pass to him, and it's always he catches the other team by surprise because the guy running left all of a sudden is going to throw because he's left-handed.
Because the Blackhawks drafted a guy in the first round last year who was an all-state quarterback.
Mason West, yeah. Yep.
Not Mason West. And he was recruited by Division I teams to be a quarterback, and he chose hockey.
Boog would love that. Boog is always so impressed that any baseball player was actually good at another sport.
Well,
too.
he was, yeah.
Right.
He's like, did you know he was? Yes, these are elite athletes. Other than Hal, these are elite athletes. Chances are they were good at everything, and they picked a sport.
Yeah,
right. Well, what you said about the the fact that there are so few sellers. I mean, would that maybe dictate the type of market where there are some surplus for surplus trades like you proposed before, where it's like the old school trades?
Yeah, I forget which podcast I was listening to, and they talked about. I think Ken Rosenthal was on it. I think it must have been the one without our beloved Roundtable podcast.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
I'm stuck. It's harder for me to come up with topics for this. I would just steal them from them. The only baseball podcast I listen to now is the Jason Stark one, which is kind of a dorky podcast, but I like him and Doug, and they have good guests. Rosenthal, I think, talked about how he thought there finally was a chance that teams would just be like, okay, fine. You need this, we need this, instead of obsessing over the prospect lists and trying to come up with something. Yeah. Let's just actually trade a big leaguer for a big leaguer, and let's just go. He thought that might have to happen given the just the sheer number of teams that are going to be trying to trade. It makes a team like the Giants, who's clearly out of it and does have some pieces to trade.
Yeah.
Although Buster so far has kind of proven to be an idiot. They have a chance to, like Robbie Ray.
Yeah.
Should get a nice return.
Yeah, he's not bad. Yeah. He's like, I think it sort of depends, and I think that's kind of the thing about this many teams being in it is that, like Robbie Ray, like the Dodgers wouldn't be interested in Robbie Ray. He doesn't start a playoff game for them.
No, in fact, I think he kind of projects as he's a guy who helps you get to the playoffs.
Yeah,
as a starter.
Yeah,
and then you might shift him to the bullpen to be another lefty, and then if you go long in a series. All of a sudden, Robbie's got to make a start, and he can't.
Yeah,
right.
Well, not if you're the Cubs.
His big issue is that he throws so goddamn many balls.
Yeah,
he's like Blake Snell without, the only year he was really Blake Snell was the year he won the Cy Young.
Yeah,
he's been good most of the other years, but he's agonizing to watch because it's 3-1. It's like, Jesus.
He
wiggles out of it mostly. The other reason he's agonizing to watch, two reasons. He's got the worst haircut, so he needs to keep that hat on. I don't know what that. But then his uniform is literally too small. The shirt's too small. The pants are too small. It's like, come on, nobody needs to see that, Robbie.
Yeah, it's like the Ned Flanders scene in Homer's head when he's skiing down the mountain.
Stupid, sexy Flanders.
Wiggling his stupid, sexy Flanders.
Yep, exactly.
But then there's guys like the Nats aren't trading C.J. Abrams.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
The Nats are in it. I mean, they have no pitching, but they're in it, and somebody's going to move him to center field or left field. Why wouldn't it just be them?
Right. Yeah.
Why would they trade him?
I know, like a couple weeks ago or so, like the big proposed rumor for the Cubs was to call Boston and try and trade for Chapman and Sonny Gray, but that's out the window now that they're back into it too. If they've ripped off.
Well, necessarily,
there's
Boston probably has enough stuff. I mean, it's hard to say that knowing what we know, but like Boston could probably trade Sonny Gray and still add. And in fact,
they might actually want to still.
Right, like Boston could probably use a switch hitting left fielder.
Yeah, especially one who think his arm would be perfect.
Yeah.
There.
Oh yeah.
Because he's
shallow left field.
Basically playing in the infield.
Yeah.
I don't know why that doesn't happen.
Left field.
All right, I'll call Breslow.
Yeah, I think that's true. I'm not even sure if that's true or not, but it might be.
But yeah, I mean they seemed like a seller. They were, they had Chapman to sell and Wilson to sell. Wilson's having a great year.
Oh God, he's amazing. But now they've won 14 in a row.
And Sonny Gray, who's like 12-1, and everybody's like, how the fuck is he 12? Has a low ERA, and you watch him pitch, and you're like, how is this? It's happening, but how is this happening?
Yeah.
So then you get to the Angels,
Yep.
and they've got 2 starters that people would like, Jose Soriano and Reed Detmers. And Artie Moreno never wants his GMs to sell ever.
Yes.
But then B, John Mozeliak is now their GM, and he's like, well, if we trade these guys, we're going to have to go find 2. We don't have any pitch. These are the only 2 pitchers we have. We're going to trade them, and then next year we're not going to have any pitching.
Right.
It kind of sounds like they have decided to keep Detmers no matter what, and they might, depending on what they get for Soriano, they might still trade him.
Well, I think if their and I don't know why their problem would be payroll, but they got Rendon coming off, right? Like, so it's not they're or maybe Rendon is off the payroll, but they could very easily be a team who, if they have some direction of if Moreno can spend some money, which they should be able to do, they might be a team who may just keep everyone and go for it next year. I don't know what free agents are available, whatever. Who won? Well,
I kind of wonder if Mozeliak looks at it and says, "Okay, we need more.
Yeah,
like we need more players. Maybe we take one of these 2, and we do it to get somebody wants to give us multiple good young players. Let's do that."
Right.
Because they've done weird things. They had Perry Manasian, his brother Zach is the Giants GM, and they did they draft these guys and they immediately promote them. They put them in the big leagues too early, and then their drafts are usually kind of Cub-like, where the first round pick is a good pick, and then everybody else. Who the fuck did the Angels take? So I have a feeling that a real GM is looking at that system, going, "Shit, we need, we got to fix this." The one deal that's crazy to me that has never happened, and the Phillies ironically don't really need it, is Trout to the Phillies.
Like that money.
Sit down and figure out, okay, we're going to eat X amount of this, and we're going to trade Mike back home, back to a contender.
Well,
we're going to get some prospects for him, and we're both going to start over because he's never going to win a goddamn thing here.
Yep.
And they've just never done it. And Artie
I was like 32.
doesn't want to do it. And they said Trout is just the kind of guy who will never go in and demand it. Like he's never going to go in and go, "You got to fucking trade me." And it's the only way it ever happened. And it's just not the way he is. Like he'd like it to happen. He would love to get traded to Philly, but he's never going to go demand it. So,
yeah, the Angels. By the way, you bringing up right now that John Mozeliak is their GM. That's like my first piece of knowledge on that. I didn't even know that.
Oh wow.
Until now. But they seem like they're, to make a reference to what Huey always brings up on Remember These Crap episodes, is that they feel like they're kind of run like the Cubs were in the 90s, that like you just keep your star players around, but do nothing else to build around them, and just kind of let them,
But that's sort of the thing, is that
hope that they can carry you. Yeah.
But it's not. They've kind of tried.
They have.
Like it's not like they've just made really awful decisions. It's not like they didn't. It's almost like it's almost like the Bears in the 90s, where they actually spent money and they kind of tried. It just wasn't like
they always spent on the wrong guy, and then it was always a half measure.
Yeah,
and it's the way the Cubs would do it too. The Cubs would like all of a sudden go, "Okay, we need to spend some money," and they'd pick the wrong free agents, and then they'd be stuck with them. And then like, "Oh, we're not doing that again." And they'd wait. It'd be 3 more years with these guys that were overpaid and underperforming.
Right.
And then they'd finally age out and they'd do it again.
Yeah.
And, that's why younger, maybe Prez, you might fall into, although you know enough, so you probably knew that the breath of fresh air with Theo was they finally were going to just rebuild. They were just going to strip it out because they would never do it. They just wouldn't. They refused. And they ripped it down to the studs and just started over. Because they would be their own worst enemy. They would have these seasons that would come out of nowhere where they would contend, but with no serious ability to do anything. And then they would convince themselves, "Hey, we're pretty good." And then the Hendry years, like Henry at one point should have done that. He should have, like when the 03-04 team aged out.
Yeah.
To give him credit, I mean, even when they got Aramis and they got Derek, it should have been a year where they're like, "Okay, we have these like cornerstones, but we need so much more. We're going to trade some of the other guys, and we're going to be bad for a year, and then we're going to start over." And they just would never do it. And then they fell into the thing where then the Tribune was selling. Yeah. So they had to win. Sam Zell gave him money to go get Soriano. Yeah. And it just kept like staggering on and on until finally Ricketts brought Theo in, and Theo's like, "We're just going to fucking start over."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was them being just good enough. I mean, let's face it, they made the playoffs 4 times, right, between 03 and 08.
Yeah.
That's, 4 times in 7 years or
3 times.
6 years. Like that's
Almost
like
did it one.
for the
Yeah,
Cubs,
04,
that's like a fucking golden age at the time.
Right. Yeah. that
Well-
did feel like the glory years then.
Yeah, I mean, holy
actually.
shit. Like
Yeah.
05 and 06 sucked,
They
but
hadn't-
it was like, oh, we're right back in 07 and 08. Like, holy shit. Like even 07 too wasn't that good. And I know the playoffs are the playoffs, but I was like, holy fuck, like we're making the playoffs. Like this is the key.
03 and 04 was the first time they had back-to-back winning seasons since the 70s.
No, I know.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
And then all of a
bring up
sudden they were good at getting 7 and 08 making the playoffs. Like that's nuts. And and then it all went to shit, obviously.
Yeah. Right.
And then Theo came in and there it was.
You do bring up an interesting point because they kind of fell ass backwards into some good teams where maybe, I mean, I don't know if this was the thinking at the time, probably not in 03, definitely not in 84, but where you would think that you'd want to just continue to keep building towards something better, but then you get a really good year like in 03 or in 84 where you have to kind of sell out for that year alone.
Well, but that's sort of the thing. Like in 84, that was kind of an example of them going for it. Like that was, getting Sutcliffe, right?
For sure.
That was the trade deadline was way further up in the year back then, right?
Yeah,
June 15th.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you getting Sutcliffe, that was them going for it. That was.
Yeah, I mean, what Dallas was really building was he just wanted a competent team. That's why he was trading for all the old Phillies and he had all this stuff. And then at some point, he's like, we might actually be kind of good. And they basically turned over their whole pitching staff. They traded for Eckersley. They traded for Sutcliffe.
Right.
And
Trout.
But even then, so the 80
Steve Trout.
Yeah, Mike's dad, Steve.
Yep.
Dizzy's Mike Trout is Dizzy Trout's grandson. People
There
don't
you
know
go.
that. So, but one thing Dallas did, so the 84 team, they brought everybody back in 85. They should have been good. All the pitchers got hurt, just like this year. But they've tanked. They've lost 13 in a row at one point. They were done.
Yeah.
By 88, they were good. They were building the farm system the whole time. They were contending in the big leagues, but Gordon Goldsberry and Dallas were drafting very, very well. Guys like Palmeiro and Grace and all those guys were coming. And so the 87 team was actually pretty good. We talk about it on the 87 All-Star Game thing, the best last place team ever. Because
they were really
the NL East was ridiculously good, and the NL West was terrible. The Cubs would have been the best team in the NL West, and they were the worst team in the NL East. And then 88, they had 6 All-Stars. 89, they won the division. And then it didn't take very long for Jim Fry to get his hands on things, and then just completely ruin all of it. But that was a rare occasion of a team where Dallas was propping the current roster up with old guys, but not at the expense of the minors. And then they flipped it all over into the 89 team, a super fun young team. And nobody does it like that now.
Right.
And maybe you can't. Maybe the way the system is, you can't do it. But most teams follow the Cub and Astro model.
Yeah.
And the White Sox did it, and it looks like it's working to some extent there, where you just get fucking horrible and get all the bad contracts off and trade the few good players you have for prospects and draft well and then turn it around. There's very few teams that will just not touch their minor leagues while they try to contend.
Yeah. There kind of are teams. So the Guardians have sort of done that with their pitching staff. They just continue to turn over guys. They continue to draft all right. And
I don't know how they do it considering how did the Guardians do it considering the Cubs hired the brains of that outfit, Carter Hawkins,
Tweedledee,
to bring the pitching development right to the Cubs. How do they still do it?
You do bring up a really good point in that there's no veterans just simply cost a lot, so there aren't teams who can do it. Even the Royals, when they won in 14 and 15, when they won in 15, they got bad pretty quickly because they just simply couldn't afford to keep Eric Hosmer, and they couldn't afford to keep or else there was that team. And so it's hard.
They traded Lorenzo Cain, and they they did that before, right? To get Greinke.
Moustakas, that was the other one. Because he signed with the Reds. But the kind of like the Rays have always been pretty good at doing that, right? But even they go through times.
I guess the team that does it, I ignored the team that probably actually does it.
Yeah, same.
Are the Dodgers.
Yeah. But even
but even to the point where, although the Dodgers are still odd to me, that they will leave a glaring hole in their roster.
Yeah.
Like they still don't have a shortstop. They just like, Mookie's fine. Right. It's like, no, he's not, but that's fine. But it's almost like they did such a good job with the veterans like Freddie Freeman and Mookie that they're not even to the point where they have to turn them over for the young guys. So they're just trading the young guys to get other stuff.
Right.
Like
but here's
Michael Bush.
Yeah. But here's the thing about them. Like at some point, like, I don't know, maybe it won't, right? Freddie Freeman probably has 3 or 4 years left on that contract. At some point he's going to get old. Like he's just going to, the skills are going to, Mookie Betts already kind of isn't the same hitter that he was,
ever since he crapped his brains out on that flight to Japan.
Right. Yeah.
The same guy.
The guy that I wonder about with the Dodgers is Tucker, because, how often has a big money free agent deal that they signed worked out so poorly to start as Tucker has?
Yeah. I think part of that is they were hoping that he'd opt out of the last 2 years, and I think he's doing that. Yeah. Or 4 years or whatever it is, 3 years. But the Dodgers did bring on, like, Will Smith got hurt, so they got Dalton Rushing. I know he's not Will Smith, but Andy Pages came up and he's pretty good out there.
Really good, yeah.
They kind of got lucky with Max Muncy, but maybe but like these guys are eventually going to get older, and then it'll be interesting to see if they can come back and actually like do what the Cubs would be unwilling to do, which is let the old guys age out and still pay them while still maintaining a payroll that high, right? Like still like, or maybe you do get guys like Pages and, maybe this Freeland guy works out, whatever else they have.
So what you're saying is the Cubs, it'll be the same with the Cubs with Josiah Hartshorn and Owen Ayers.
For sure. For sure. Ethan Conrad, dude.
Especially
the complex.
I think there's a chance Conrad will just come up in August. To play left field.
To play left field. Is he a righty?
Just like Owen Casey last year? Yeah.
Nah.
And run into the wall.
Yeah.
Concuss himself.
Right.
So I don't know. Like it's the Yankees kind of do that. Like it's a good point that you bring up, because the Cubs are an old team.
Yeah.
Like at some point, like even if they don't bring back Seiya, which I hope they do, if they don't bring back Happ, which I hope they do, obviously Teone's not going to be back. Like they're not really going to get any younger. They're just going to take those mid players, and I know Sam might be a little bit better than that, but just replace them with other mid players at about the same cost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mediocre white guys. That's who.
Never going to get any.
The only thing Jed spends money on. Former number 1 draft picks, white guys who got drafted out of college, and then Pete.
Yeah, and Pete.
Pete running around doing everything, and the other guys just
I was gonna say, does Pete count as white? The hair doesn't totally look like something a white guy would have.
Well, he doesn't fit up, but he wasn't. They didn't pick him because they traded for him. He didn't go to college.
Let's put it this way.
He's actually good. He doesn't fit any other categories.
Right wingers would not be getting upset if he was in the Odyssey.
That's true. If he was feeling Helena Troy.
So, yeah.
Or I don't remember the name of Elliot Page's character.
I don't either.
Sinat.
Please don't ruin it. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's a great.
No, there's nothing wrong.
One of. Yeah, it's 3,000 years old. You've had plenty of time to read it.
True.
Let me tell you.
There's no spoiler words.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's something in the horse.
Haven't you ever seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
What?
Haven't you ever seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
That's based on the Odyssey, right?
Okay.
I was annoyed because I went to watch after I saw the Odyssey. I got very annoyed that Oh Brother, Where Art Thou isn't on. You have to. I can just rent it, but it's like, how is this not on a single streaming service? I have them all. It's not on any of them right now.
Yeah. There's so many movies like that I want to see, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. I will say, so on the topic of, just surplus for surplus trades like that.
Yeah.
One I had in mind was just that right now the Yankees are without Aaron Judge, and they don't really have a timetable for him to return yet.
Right.
And he's been out since what, like late May, I want to say.
Yeah.
They might be in search of an outfielder. The Cubs have a guy named Michael Conforto who, may be falling like a rock fairly soon, or maybe already kind of has from his high point this year. The one thing the Yankees do have a surplus of is relief pitching, and they do have an old friend of ours in Paul Blackburn, who has looked really good this year. Maybe a trade involving, say, Conforto and, one of these former prospects that hasn't really panned out too well to see if they would be interested.
As it's not James Triantos.
I was going to say James Triantos. Sorry if
he's untouchable.
Sorry if we just lost all our prospect pervert listeners.
Untouchable. How can you get rid of the next great Cub?
Yeah.
I think I'll put it to you this way. I don't like cool. I hope they go I'd like to think, and I'd like to think they go a little bit bigger than that.
Well, I don't think he was saying that's the only trade they're going to make.
The only pitchers. I almost at this point, I'll settle for just about any pitcher better than Aaron Savali, right?
Well, that's most of them.
Well, that's what I mean.
Although, how about last year with the Cubs? 13 innings, 14 strikeouts, no walks.
I know, right?
There we go. Tommy Otto.
He was really good.
The magic form.
I was thinking he's got kind of a Trevor Cahill look. Where is why don't they just bring Trevor Cahill back? He can't be that old.
Yeah, right.
Where was Trevor Cahill?
Trev?
I was just thinking, where was Trevor Cahill this weekend?
Yeah, how come Trev didn't come back for the reunion? Maybe because he's like, if I go back, they're gonna fucking make me pitch.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
They're gonna activate me, and I just don't. I don't want to go through.
Hey, they almost made Kyle Hendricks do it with the first.
Clayton Richard didn't come back either. He's
right.
Like, I guarantee you that I'm gonna end up having to make a spot start, and I don't want to do it.
Or Brian Matthews.
I don't. They can't call him.
Yeah.
Better than Jim Cott.
Right.
That's why they kept telling the Brian Matthews story over and over again on that Lovable Reunion podcast. I'm like, is at some point somebody going to just acknowledge the fact that he's dead?
Yeah.
They didn't even do the little, not even a little half-ass Skype on Brian Mattis.
Yeah.
Because they don't know. Rizzo and Ross have no fucking idea.
Right.
They didn't know who he was when he showed up, and he's only there for a day.
I love how pissed they were at Theo over just the proposal of having him start instead of one of their normal starters.
Well, but they kind of Lester talked about it directly. Theo kind of glossed it over. The reason they were super pissed was after that game in Seattle, they were going to the West Coast, and it was going to fuck up their Pebble Beach trip because Lester was going to have to pitch the day after they were going to Pebble Beach. And so on the plane, Lester asked Theo, and Theo's like, well, are you still going to be able to get ready? And he's like, yeah, well, then go to Pebble Beach. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's why they were mad. It was going to fuck up their golf trip.
Yep. Yeah, because they had the day off Thursday, and then Lester was pitching Friday.
Yeah. And he's like, shit, now it's gonna screw it up. Because he was gonna pitch. He was gonna pitch on the night before, and then just have 4 days, do whatever you want.
Yeah. Who knew you could have so much fun in Oakland and the surrounding area?
God.
I guess San Francisco, but still.
Okay, there is a guy next on this list that I think would be a good pickup for the Cubs, and I think he will get traded. And it's Kevin Gossman.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, okay. They're like the team. The Blue Jays are like the team probably with the best pitching among teams that are. I don't know if I don't know if you can really say they're not in the race anymore because they're 3 games out of the wild card in the AL, but among at least the last place teams, they probably have the best pitching core to pick and choose from.
Yeah, let's see. They're 11. They're 11 and a half out of the division, but the wild card in the American League is a joke. So they are 5.5 out.
Yeah, the Blue Jays.
They're 5.5 out, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams ahead of them.
Okay, so
they're
they're
11% chance to make the
There's
playoffs.
a lot of jumping. So if you're the Blue Jays, and I know it's hard, you you should have won the World Series if Isaiah Kiner, Ralph Kiner, Falafel could have gotten anything other than the worst secondary lead in the history of baseball. You win the World Series. You're not going back this year. So you might as well get ready to try to win next year's World Series. That was the thing that always pissed me off about like those Dusty Baker era Cubs where he kept playing the old guys was, okay, you can't win this year's World Series. You need to start trying to win next year's World Series. And playing, giving Jose Macias
2005,
is not helping us win next year's World Series.
Yeah.
So,
how dare you?
Well, and the Tigers are 4.5 out, but they get 5 teams ahead of them.
Well,
and if you do the old trick where you add up the games that the team ahead of you, how many, so like the Blue Jays are 4 games behind the Rangers, and they're 2.5 games behind the Orioles. And you start to add that onto your total because all those teams have to lose for you to move up.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not 5.5 out. You're more like 10 out.
Yeah. So what I like is just looking at the Fangraphs playoff percentages.
Oh, I want to do the math. I want to do the math wrong for myself. I don't want somebody who knows how to do it.
I want to be old school on this podcast. Come on, Oleg.
So the Blue Jays are at 11% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah. So start selling.
Start selling. And I like the idea. I really do like the idea of getting Gossman. Like he automatically probably
he'd make a playoff start for you, and you'd want him to instead of having to. You would want him to make one.
Man.
So I like the idea of getting Gossman. I thought of that last recording we did. But I also like the idea of getting Clay Holmes. Like fucking go for it. Whatever. It's a broken leg. It's not. You know what I mean? It's not it's not an elbow or shoulder injury.
Clay Holmes.
Yeah,
I would be interested in Clay Holmes if ever comes.
Yeah, either of those guys.
A sinker baller with your infield.
Yeah.
Actually, if you're the Cubs, just get Freddie Peralta. Just roll out the Mets opening day rotation. You've already got David Peterson. Let's get them all.
There you go. Get what's his name?
They were supposed to be a World Series contender. We'll just take their pitching staff and we'll add it to our team and we'll go win it.
Get that Huascar Brazoban guy. Yeah, there we go.
I do like Luke Weaver. That'd be
Luke Weaver would be a great one. Yeah.
I think if he's traded, he's the best relief pitcher that gets traded.
Yeah. I think I like him more than Chapman.
Hold on. We also got to consider, we got to get the pre-injured guys too. So Kodai Senga, come on down.
Kodai. Poor Kodai. I think the ship sailed on Kodai. He was really good as a rookie. Yeah. And he got hurt and a weird injury late in the season. And it's just been ever since.
Yeah.
I think you might be right.
But you could do one-stop shopping with the Mets. You go Clay Holmes, Brooks Raley, Luke Weaver. Boom.
I got one more for you. I got you your
the right-handed hitting left fielder.
Yeah. Lewis Robert Jr. And honestly, he fits the Cubs injury proneness. Boom.
He was a guy I was thinking about last year for the Cubs.
Where's Eloy? Where is Eloy right now?
I think Eloy's free. I think you can just sign him.
Go get Eloy.
Yeah.
I think he was in like the minors with like for
the Rays,
the Orioles or the Rays. Yeah.
Well, for the Orioles, that was a while back. He may not be anyway.
Yeah, okay, because that's who the Sox initially traded him to.
He's with the Jays. You get him in the Gossman
with Gossman.
Have him be a throw-in. He'll be the Ryan Sandberg of this trade.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, I'm sure he'll wind up exactly like Ryan Sandberg.
He is playing in Buffalo.
Yeah.
312, 375, 387. Not a lot of slug for Eloy.
Not a lot of slug.
He's getting on base.
Yeah. What you doing against? You know what? Is there splits on that?
Not in the minors.
You know what though?
I'm sure somewhere. I don't know where to look.
But Buffalo is perfect for Eloy. He feels like the kind of guy that would like go through a table at a Bills tailgate.
Oh, I would say, how has he not fallen into the falls yet, though?
Yeah, true. Didn't think about that.
Where's Eloy? Man. Oh no, is he? He's not on the maid. He's not on the Maid of the Mist, is he? Oh shit! Somebody get a life preserver. So I don't like this. So after Gossman, I'm looking at the Athletic. They've got their little things. They have Seiya.
Yeah. Yes.
But this is how much effort they put into this. There's apparently a lot of cutting and pasting going on. It says value, aging ace with something left to give. Clearly, that's not supposed to go with unless somebody's going to make him a pitcher. He does have a pretty good arm.
Well, if someone's going to make him a pitcher, it might be the Cubs.
Will the Cubs sell? Will he waive his no trade clause? No.
Yeah, and neither of those things is true. I will say this.
Good.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, aging ace. The Tigers are in town. Is this where the Cubs finally get Justin Verlander after 9 years of when they should have done it?
I will say this: there is a world in which perhaps you trade Seiya for a starter, and I was thinking of somehow making it work with the Mariners. You could probably use some more offense, and they definitely have starting pitching, but all their starting pitching is far too young to trade for Seiya.
Who's playing right field then?
I don't know. I'm just saying. Like if you have to make a baseball for baseball trade,
Josiah Hartshorn, come on up, kid.
Yeah.
Let's see if you're really the.
But yeah, like I don't like. But
because it'd be Conforto, and I'd shoot myself.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, Andy. That's
he's already traded for Paul Blackburn, so it's
exactly. There we go.
It's Kevin Alcantara, who
Kevin
made a nice catch tonight,
Blackburn.
sliding into the wall on foul territory.
Yeah,
Kevin's playing right field tonight.
Yeah. Is Blackburn starting for the Yankees?
No,
is he on the Yankees?
He's a reliever, but he's a damn good reliever.
I will say this. I also like the idea of Spencer Steer.
He could. The bar is so low as the right-handed hitting left fielder.
Yeah,
because you just have to outdo 160.
Yeah,
I'd be perfectly fine with him getting those at bats.
Yep. Or do you go back to back years of going to the same well and trading for Willie Castro? Because he's having a pretty good year with the Rockies this year.
Yeah, we asked, are you actually going to hit this year, Willie? No. Oh, shit. I didn't understand why they didn't keep him.
You want me to hit too?
He didn't cost very much. It's like, why is a guy who can play good defense at pretty much every position not valuable to a contender? Of course he should be. And the Rockies signed him to trade him at the deadline. That's the whole reason they have him.
Right.
Is some contender is going to need a utility guy, and they're going to get, they'll take a flyer on a prospect for Willie. Yeah, I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else we got here? Oh, how about Isaac Paredes? You want to bring that back? See if he maybe can hit 2 home runs in Wrigley Field this time instead of 1?
No, thank you.
Can he play left field?
It was his only extra base hit as a Cub in Wrigley Field as a home run in the basket.
I'm trying to think here. What was higher? What's the higher number? Isaac Paredes' slugging percentage at Wrigley Field as a Cub, or Ian Happ's average against right-handed pitching this year?
I looked it up when I was making fun of him. Paredes' slugging percentage at Wrigley that year was in the ones.
It was in the ones for sure. Yes.
And it's like, that's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact he never hit a double, not even one, just 1 homer, and that was it. That was good enough. Oh, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
What year was that? 24?
24. Yep. That was him for Morel with the Rays.
Yep.
Let's look at this. And Hunter Biggie.
Morel's probably available.
Well, yeah, he got cut earlier this year by the Marlins, but I don't think you want Christopher Morel.
Where's Wrigley? There it is.
I was so sure that he'd be good. He hit straight out of the ball.
Isak, with the answer to your question, what was lower, Isaac Paredes' slugging percentage at Wrigley or Ian Happ's batting average this year against
lefties? Yeah.
It's Isaac Paredes' slugging percentage at Wrigley. 140.
Okay. All right. You can stay for now.
His on-base average, though, was 177. Much better. And a 105 batting average. A 317 OPS. If you did... that's right. Eloy is a Blue Jay, not a Ray. Because I was saying you could do a little one-step shopping there and get Nick Madrigal and Eloy.
Oh, geez. Yeah, there you go.
That'd be good. So do we think Pedro Ramirez has passed Matt Shaw?
No.
Like, are the Cubs more likely to trade Shaw than they would be Pedro?
I think they were more likely to trade Shaw regardless.
because they should be able to get more for him.
I think so, and I think that
I
they
like
probably,
Pedro. I think
No, I
Pedro's
like
an
Pedro
expert.
too.
I do too. I think he's a switch hitter who's actually pretty good for both sides.
The issue, of course, is
Right?
at least with Shaw, in theory, although you don't really want him playing, he doesn't have enough bat for a corner outfield spot.
Right.
Both of them are victim to the fact that there is no spot. The second baseman has a no trade, and the shortstop has a no trade, and the third baseman has a no trade.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're either got to play out of position or DH. Which is not a great use of either one of those guys.
Yeah, I think they're both. It's weird to say about Pedro, but they're both kind of good enough athletes or good enough, and baseball players to be able to play pretty much. I mean, Matt Shaw's not awful in the outfield, right? He's got some learning to do to take better routes. Like he's not bad.
It still looks terrible, but he mostly catches.
Yeah, and he might get better with experience. Like I think,
and the fact that it just boggles my mind that they basically just said, "All right, just go do it."
Yeah,
with no real plan, no. We talked about it 2 weeks ago, right? That the Travis Wood saying that fly ball he caught in the Ivy was the first time he caught a fly ball at night since high school.
Sure.
Well, it'll be the same for Shaw. In the big leagues, he's playing in the outfield. He hadn't played a night game in the outfield probably his whole life, and he's trying to do it in a big league park with 3 decks and the lights, and he's a little bit dumb to begin with. It was not a great thing, but he's
But he'll get better. But that's the thing. Like, I think they're both good enough, and especially, I think the hard thing is around the infield and being good enough around the infield, and that's sort of what Zobrist. Zobrist was talking with what was he on? He was on MLB Now today, and then they had Madden and him on. It was fucking whatever. But Zobrist he's got some new book out about motivation or something like that, some self-help book. But Zobrist was talking about kind of playing the outfield.
Not the 10 signs that your wife is fucking the pastor. That's not the name of the book.
50 ways to leave your church. So there's, but he kind of talked about like learning the outfield, and it wasn't like anything, other like you just got to get good at it. You just play whatever was he said. But it was, but like the infield is the hard thing. It seems like. You think you can figure out how to?
Yeah, I would say it would be harder to.
So, and that's why shortstops can move out to. You talk about C.J. Abrams becoming a center fielder. That's why shortstops can move wherever, and I think that's sort of the thing with both Ramirez and Shaw is that I think that they're good enough to play to sort of learn how to play wherever. Now, you're right. Maybe it's probably better to have a play out, and I'm with you there. But like, I don't. It doesn't like it's cool. Like if you talk about trading for Willie Castro, I think I'd rather just keep either of those guys. It's the same player, right? It's hopefully they turn into Ben Zobrist.
Right. I mean, what I would think would be if you need to trade Pedro or Shaw to get a pitcher or get whatever, then you could go, because you wouldn't have to give up much. Then you trade for Willie to replace them.
Well,
right. You wouldn't just add Willie to those two. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Well, I think as long as you have one of those two around, I think that's okay. Because you got a catcher, you got one of those two, you got somebody Alcantara, like you've got enough to like maybe bring back Ballesteros to.
Well, they really do. I mean,
back and forth.
It's clear with who's DH tonight? Kelly? No, he's catching.
No,
but
Alcantara's in right field. Saya.
Against lefties, he's had Pedro Ramirez DH. He's had Carson Kelly DH.
Yeah.
Right. They have to add, even if you're not gonna do the thing they should do and have him steal at bats from. They need a right-handed bat for that bench. They need one. Craig is basically crying out for it, just like he was 2 years ago, and they didn't bother to get one back when he was. Because who would he put? Oh, he had Justin Turner, who he would have to play at first base, to hide Bush from the lefties.
Right.
Yeah, not Bush is all right against lefties.
Mm-hmm.
But then now there's an actual need for it instead of like. You need a right-handed bat when for that extra spot because.
But that's
Ballesteros didn't turn into your everyday DH this year.
Yeah.
So you're mixing and matching, and you don't want Conforto getting at bats against lefties.
But that's if you don't trade Shaw, that's what. And again, I mean that's what Shaw.
Right. Shaw could get those, or he can play in a spot, and the other guy can go there.
Yeah.
The troubling thing, if Shaw is part of their plans to add on, he doesn't seem to be all that close to coming back.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I don't
He's
think
not-
that would matter as much. It'd be like them getting PCA while PCA was hurt, right? If you're selling, then you can kind of project out into next year. You don't have to have Shaw this year. Now, what I would say is, we talked about earlier about kind of making sure that as players age out, you got players who can take their spots. I think one of the kind of good things about having, again, I go back to Ben Zobrist, but having somebody like Shaw or Ramirez who can play a whole lot of different positions is then you're able to maybe age out players a little bit slower. Because now, Bregman only plays 5 or 4 days a week eventually, or,
Right.
and then eventually Swanson or Orner or whatever. Like, you might be better off hiding them a little bit, playing them against favorable matchups. If you've got these kids who may not be that expensive, again, I don't really go sharp.
Yeah, and it could be a matter too of just like he did it last night. Ramirez played third, and Bregman DH'd.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And honestly, Craig hasn't done as much of that as you think he should. He's got 2 old guys playing third and short, and they still play almost every inning of every game.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we trying to prove? I don't.
Yeah.
And I get the whole like Dansby never wants to come out of the lineup. It's like, well, tough shit. Maybe
right.
Maybe part of the reason he's hitting 201 is that he's older now and he needs more days off. And they're not even real days off.
Yeah.
Because especially with the lineup the way it is right now, you're just going to DH.
Right. Or you're back in the game at the first chance because you have to pinch hit for Ramirez or you have to pinch hit for
And I know there's regular players don't like to just spend a day at DH because they don't see that as a day off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
They're like, if you want to give me a day off, give me a day off.
Yeah.
If I'm just going to DH, I'm still gonna have to do my pregame thing and warm up, and I'm gonna have to get ready to bat 4 times. And I'm gonna do whatever. And if the whole idea is a mental rest, I'm not gonna get it because I've got 4 at bats.
Yep.
So if you think I need a day off, you're like, give me a day off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's what they talked about that on the Lovable whatever podcast.
Right. Yeah. Joe. Yep.
About how Joe would tell him.
Yeah. It's got day off.
Sometimes 2 or 3 days in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they were going to have a day off. So then they knew they didn't get to the park early and then see it.
Yep.
And be like, why the fuck am I here 5 hours early? Now I'm not playing. Yeah.
And it'd be a whole day off unless it was a real emergency.
Yeah. I don't know. I think with Shaw, they probably aren't shopping all that much because the plan for him is to play in one of the corners next year. And, that may or may not be the best plan, but.
What do you mean play one of the corners? Outfield?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I at least that, if that's the plan and everything goes according to plan with Cubs prospects, which we know that's a guarantee to happen, he may not be there long if Josiah Hartshorn is making this ascent and, who's the other guy? Ethan Conrad. But
well, there's one thing you can never go wrong, and that's betting on a Cub prospect.
This is true.
A Cub hitting, either one.
Right.
They know will fail.
We talked about places where the Cubs could do one-stop shopping. They actually have done pretty well, and I know this is not the most ideal place to get pitching from, but they've done pretty well with some ex-Rockies this year with Ryan Rollison and Gavin Hollowell. Is there maybe a Rockies pitcher they could go after, like a Lorenzen?
Jose Quintana.
The Dodgers just got the good one.
Yeah, the Dodgers just got the good one, exactly. But I don't think Quintana is going to be pitching again this year.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know the Kyle Freeland sucks.
No. The Cubs are listed along with the White Sox and the Braves on the Robbie Ray best fits.
I mean, any pitcher would be like, I don't even understand how like every team who's looking for any pitching wouldn't be a good fit for any of these. Like, it's weird for me that Robbie Ray is a good fit just for those 3 teams or whatever. Like, he's a good fit any team pretty much would be fine with Robbie Ray. Right? Like, he brings up the floor of your
with his walks. I don't know.
Well, he's not leading the league in walks this year, which he has done in the past.
Right.
Who else? Somebody else is, though. A guy who's on this list, like a pretty good pitcher, is leading the league in walks. With Robbie, it's not so much the walks as you just watch him and you're like, just throw a fucking strike. Like, why do we have to go 3 balls to every batter?
Yeah.
Let's see. How about Yennier Cano for the bullpen?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
That'd be a good one. Yeah, if the Orioles sell, they might have a couple of guys. I wouldn't mind getting Trevor Rogers.
Yeah. It is funny that in a perfect world, this is how it works for the Cardinals. Like they've got some pieces that they should be able to trade at the deadline, but they're in the race, so they're not going to do it. Like Lars Nootbaar would be a good extra outfielder for a lot of teams. He's a good player. What's his name? The closer who hit Junior in the All-Star game. Riley O'Brien.
Riley O'Brien. Yeah, O'Brien.
That's O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Huh.
He's a guy that a savvy team trades anyway, right?
Yeah.
He's he's in his 30s. He came out of nowhere.
Right.
And if you keep him in he's going to, it's like keeping Joe Borowski.
Yeah.
He'll be fine next year. These guys who come out of nowhere usually go back to nowhere.
Right.
But I will enjoy it if the Cardinals contend just long enough to hang on to everybody and then fall out of it and not get anybody for any of the.
And that's still bad next, and that's him coming back down earth next year. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's always the chance that they figure out some pitch in their 30s, which it doesn't have to be a stamina thing. It could just be, I figured out this pitch. But yeah, odds are that, especially with relievers.
It was funny. Kenley Jansen before Ian Happ screwed it up last night was pitching to. Wait, is this right? No, that's not right. It was a wrong game. It was Aroldis. I was watching them before.
Mm-hmm.
Aroldis got the save last night for the Red Sox and passed Dennis Eckersley on the all-time save list. And Eckersley was at the game. And it's funny to think how high Eck is on the save list, considering that was halfway through his career they made him a closer.
Yep.
I know he was great. He saved 50 games, however many years in a row. But it's just funny that a guy, honestly, I would have assumed Aroldis had passed him already, because Aroldis has done it his whole career, and but I don't know, it's kind of funny.
Well, what's really interesting is that Aroldis Chapman stole Dennis Eckersley's wife.
Yeah, he did, and then he got mad at her, and he went in his garage and started shooting the walls in the garage.
Yeah.
Jeez. So our buddy Jim Bowden, not Jim Bouton, Jim Bowden, he had a trade for the Cubs, trade he wanted to see happen. Would you make this trade? It was Matt Shaw for Michael Wacha.
Ooh. No, thank you. No, thank you.
It's like, Jim, no. God damn it. 35-year-old Michael Wacha. Sure.
And Wacha's good. He'd be a guy who I wouldn't mind the Cubs getting. He'd be a fun.
There's a trade to be made there that doesn't cost you Matt Shaw.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yes. Would the Royals ask for Matt Shaw? Yes. And you say no, and then they're like, okay. But
Here,
and then
you can have James Triantos.
Yep. And you're like, take Shaw.
Yeah.
You can have Shaw.
Yeah.
You can't have Triantos. You can have Shaw.
Yeah.
God. I would be shocked if this trade deadline ends with James Triantos not traded. I think he's getting traded.
You think he's getting traded?
I think he's getting traded. And it was funny because Sahadev and Mooney were talking about it. I think the Cubs feel like they owe it to him because he's blocked here. Oh, is that why they make trades? Because they owe it to James, you need a place to play. Let's make a trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think they trade him because they're just fucking tired of looking at him in Des Moines. They're like, right. Are you fucking still here? Go away. How much steak de Burgo can you eat?
He loves steak de Burgo.
And he turns it down. I'm going to use my no trade. You don't have a no trade. I'm not going.
He's gonna be like the guy from the Mets. He's gonna be like that guy from the Mets who cried when he found out he got traded. Then he didn't get traded.
Wilmer Flores.
Wilmer Flores. That's it. He's like the steak de Burgo.
Well,
Triantos is gonna retire and go work in the restaurant where they make the steak de Burgo.
I'm not getting traded.
My heart's not in it anymore anyway. This is my life now. Is this steak that we take and drag across the floor and then throw it on the grill and serve it to tourists.
In fact,
if you're a tourist in Des Moines, you deserve to have
he loves it so much he's going to change his name to James Trianto.
I was just going to make that joke. Yes.
Yep. They should put me in charge. If the Iowa Cubs should have silent S night.
There you go.
Where the PA announcer and the announcers have to pronounce all the players' name without the S's.
And their jerseys, they all have the S missing if it's in their last name. Yeah.
Or no, it's like, say they have the white pinstripes on. The S's are in white instead of blue.
Yeah.
So you can barely see them.
There we go. We
go. What about if
we'll send Alex Cohen back because he'll go schizo.
Oh God.
It's not going to make me go schizo, is it? It very well might.
I owed Alex Cohen a bit of gratitude this week. He shouted me out on a broadcast on Sunday.
I wouldn't admit that if I would. When you posted that, I'm like, why would you admit that?
You do not indeed.
Why did he shout you out? What was the circumstance?
They were talking. It was the inning that Phil Maton was pitching in, and they were kind of discussing like just how inconsistent over the years the Cubs haven't really stuck with a closer. And a couple weeks ago, I had tweeted out that like the last time the Cubs had the same pitcher lead the team in saves in back-to-back years, you got to go back to Hector Rondon from 2014 to 2016. And so I tagged Cohen and the marquee handle in the tweet, and he wound up reading it on the air.
Huh.
All right.
Huh.
Well, Prez, you're fired.
Damn it.
You can't.
Oh, that's fine. Honestly, you need to do more show prep for him. Send him more things because the shit he talks about is just.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah. Feel free to tweet him with enough nuggets to make him maybe get through an entire broadcast with that. That's the thing with him and Sutcliffe. I only heard them when Big Inning would pick them up. Just the sheer amount of them not ever shutting up just drove you insane. It's just two guys who don't know. They love the sound of their own voice, and they're just talking.
Right.
It's like, Jesus.
So they had George Kittle in the booth yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it. Thankfully, I didn't hear it. Although, why was Kittle sitting with Big Cat and Crane?
I don't know.
See that?
I don't know. I see like with Big Cat. I get it. Here's the thing, though.
Was it the tight end university? Was it in Chicago this year? Is that why they were all there?
At one point, Kittle was like he got a tour of the clubhouse, and he was talking about seeing some guy in the batting cage. He goes, "Who's number 4?"
Yeah.
So I have to talk about that's Pete Armstrong.
Well, there was like a whole big like pregame thing with Barstool Big Cat because I think it was game 2 against the Padres last year. He won the 50-50 raffle, and he's like, one of the first like notable people to have won it. So they had like this whole special event on the field of him like being presented a check. And then I think he like did some partnership with the Cubs where for this week they're doing like a 51-49 raffle where Cubs Charities only takes 49% of the money. And so that's where that all stemmed from.
What's the 51? I don't.
The like 50-50 raffle at games, the split the pot.
I understand. Why do 51-49?
Because just to say that like in order for like
charity gets less money.
Well, that like Big Cat is like promoting it so that it gets more money. I guess. Yeah.
Is he like okay, whatever?
Yeah,
he should kick in the 51.
Yes.
Yeah. Is he matching the 49%?
That's a good question because he did wind up donating all of his winnings from it last year to
what I hope
it's like Lost
fund
Boys.
To get Dave Portnoy lifts for his shoes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that one.
Like it'd be pretty shitty of him not to donate the other 50.
Right.
There's one of those.
I'm not going to do with their money, whatever. Like do what you want, but like holy fuck.
Whatever the seltzer is that the Barstool is like in league with, there's a Portnoy bobblehead in the Woodman's liquor store here.
Is that right?
It's about 3.5 feet tall, so it's actual size.
Doesn't he do doesn't Big Cat have a coffee thing too?
Yeah, Stella Blue. Yep. That used to be like an Stella ad on like Cubs radio broadcast, I want to say.
Is he that's right. Is he a deadhead?
Mm-hmm. He is.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know. Okay. That explains. I'm like, why would he name it Stella Blue?
I think it's also like his dog is named Stella too, and like that ties into it that he named it. Sure.
That. Well, Stella Blue. It's a Grateful Dead song.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm not a deadhead, so I didn't know that.
I know. I got it. Yeah. Yes, it's a Grateful Dead song. So that when I heard it, I'm like, wait, is he a deadhead? Like that's kind of a neat name, and
No,
it explains why the dog thing.
He's talked about it a couple times on like Pardon My Take.
Cool.
He's into the Grateful Dead.
Cool.
There's another right-handed bat on this list, a former Cub, Jorge Soler.
Oh.
Former two-time World Series winner, World Series MVP.
Yeah.
He could play a little
Cub
right-handed
playoff
left
hero.
field.
Yeah, there we go.
Ball hit to
And
him. Every ball hit to him as a double. That would be fun.
And you wouldn't really miss that much in the outfield with him. More half.
True.
I mean, I don't know if he's Gold Glove
Hey,
caliber left fielder.
You'd get a better arm in left field.
Yep.
Yeah, Soler would kind of be an interesting. It would kind of solve the kind of right-handed bench. Like I'm being serious about this. Like I don't want him to necessarily touch the outfield grass, but as a right-handed DH, that might be.
Why did it do that?
Acceptable.
I'm not looking up Jorge Barbosa. Why would it
Oh.
fill in Jorge Soler? Baseball Savant does weird stuff sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Still got a good barrel rate, 75%.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't run anymore.
Yeah,
Can't
of course.
field.
Yeah.
Bat speed's still good.
Okay.
204, 294, 373 so far for the
Okay.
Yankees.
What's his?
We're only batting against lefties.
What's his expected slugging? XSLG.
369.
Ooh, nah.
Not good.
Pass it.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Thank you for 2015, Jorge, but no thank
Yeah.
A guy who does have a lot of red ink is another Met reliever we can add to the pile, Huáscar Brazoban.
Yeah. He's not
I like
bad.
Huáscar. Yep.
He's a pretty good pitcher. I wouldn't be upset if they added it. Like there's a couple middle relievers are kind of an interesting bunch.
Can
right?
you guess? Can you guess Huáscar Brazoban's age?
33.
31.
36.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I knew he was older.
Would not have known that. I would have thought he was like 29.
Yeah, no, I knew he was older.
Right.
I think they need to update this too. He's also listed at 6'3", 155.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't think so.
The Christopher Morel 135-pound thing.
Yeah.
I followed him for years.
You have to go get Brazoban just for the field day that Pat Hughes would have with his name.
Yeah. Oh, he would love it. Both names, Huáscar and Brazoban. Oh,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be able to wear pants in the booth. It would be. So the guys out there, Jed doesn't have any excuse to come back with nothing.
Well, here's the other good news is that the bar is pretty low for upgrades, right? Like you don't need. It'd be nice to get like a Tarik Skubal, but to upgrade the pitching staff, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And
like honestly, if they got a guy like Gossman, I'd pat little Jed on the back and say, good job.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, you don't. I mean, it would be nice. Obviously, you want to get the best possible player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there should be guys that are traded this year that fall into a more comfortable spot for Jed.
Yep.
That would actually be considerable upgrades.
Yeah.
He really doesn't have an excuse to come up with the shit he did last year.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Well, you wrote about trying to get Elliot Ramos from the Giants.
Sure.
Are you more of the opinion that you would want to trade? You would want to make rental trades for pitchers, but if you're trading for position players that it's in a position that would fill a need for next year, that you'd want to get a guy with years of control.
I mean, I think given the way their roster looks next year, if you can get pitchers with an extra year, you'd want to do that too.
For sure.
But really for position players, unless they're a corner outfielder or you think, oh, this guy would be a great DH, there's no need to trade for a guy with another year. You've locked all those other spots up. I mean, center, third, short, second, first.
Maybe catcher.
Maybe a catcher because, I mean, how many years are you going to keep?
Yeah.
Carson Kelly's been really good for you, but how long? I mean, he's old, and how long does that go on for?
Right.
Well, that's the nice thing about getting somebody like Ramos.
Pitching, you have so little pitching coming back that it would be a nice bonus to get a guy that you like who actually has signed for next year, because they're going to be building the whole staff over next year, not just Everybody basically can leave or is hurt.
Right.
Like, that's a nice thing by getting Ramos is that you get him for next year as well, right?
Yeah, right. That's
So
the
that's
thought.
nice.
behind that.
And that's
He can DH for you this year.
Yeah, and that's
And
Hap's
he can
replacement.
play left against the righties, and then he takes over for Hap next year.
Right.
Yep.
And I think getting him out of San Francisco, I would think his offense. I mean, he's a good hitter, and he is not. That park doesn't do him any favors. He's got a lot of gap power in a park where the gaps go on forever, and he'd come to a park where they're the shortest that you could find. So
a lot of those doubles turn into home runs here if you get it to right center.
And for some weird reason, maybe it's different with Buster, but Farhan clearly didn't like Elliott very much. Like he was a number one prospect for them.
Yeah,
although they had a bunch of those guys. They had the guy who they tried to play at shortstop, and he just made errors all the time. I can't blanking on his name. But Elliott was one of their top prospects. I remember thinking that that's a guy that they should have gotten in the Bryant trade. Was like, how did you not get a guy like Elliott Ramos? And they weren't going to trade him then. They were, but a year later, they basically would have given him away. He only started playing for them 2 years ago when Jung-Hoo Lee got hurt. And then they still didn't call him up.
Yep.
And then the other guy that they put in center field got hurt, and fine. Well, so they played him out of position in center, and he made the fucking all-star team.
Yeah.
And but they've always seemed to be kind of like, last year he was a disaster in left field, and I wrote about it in the thing today because there was actually a moment he made a terrible read coming in on a ball in Toronto, and it ended up being an inside the park home run. Like he came running in and he misjudged it and it went over his head, and he was embarrassed. And you could see him the rest of the year. Like, if it was 50-50, he made the wrong choice every time. If he should have come in, he stayed back. If he should have stayed back, he came in. And he was just a mess. And he's been fine this year. Like, he rates out a little below average, but he's not a bad left fielder. But I think that is kind of attached to him too. Like, he's a shitty outfielder, which he's really not. He really, 2 years ago, he certainly was. He second guessed himself he made himself a basket case in left field.
Right.
But he's a really good hitter. He's got power. He's like, everybody loves him. Like, his teammates all love Elliott. In fact, he was hurt, and when he was out and they were so bad, Kruk and Kuip were like openly pining for him to be on the bench, just to be there. Because it's like, the bench is so dead. Like, why it would be nice if Elliott was here on road, they would have been on a road trip, but they were talking about it on their little Giants Talk podcast.
Yeah.
About how the Giants should have Elliott travel with the team because he's the only guy with any fucking personality on that team, and everybody, except for Luis Ariz. Everybody loves Luis Ariz. I don't know if you saw the thing. Who was it last night? Ariz. He was at second base, and there was a ground ball to the third baseman, and the third baseman was going to tag him to end the inning, and he ran, and he was like chopping his feet in front of the guy, and they were like both doing it to each other. So like the game stopped for like 20 seconds while these two guys jacked around in front of third base, and then finally the third baseman tagged him out.
Yeah. I thought the third baseman may have gone back, but yeah.
Now there is a downside if Jed may look at Elliott and be like, "Oh no, he doesn't fit our profile."
Oh yeah.
So he's gonna have to go explain to the Ricketts. Oh no, this guy's pretty tan. Well, as we're recording this, David Peterson is pitching into the seventh.
Yeah.
Hasn't allowed a run. Jed's done it again.
Yeah.
Although it is funny, Mr. Ground Ball has given up a shitload of fly balls again tonight. Thankfully, the wind's howling in, so it's working.
Interesting.
Yeah. Thankfully, no Jackson Churios in this lineup.
Whatever that ground ball pitch you're supposed to throw, maybe start throwing that. That would be fun.
All right.
Oh, I have a Jackson Churio question for you guys. Could he win the left field Gold Glove this year?
That's what I predicted in the pregame, in the preseason podcast. Yeah.
Because he's a good outfielder. He's having a good defensive season. That'll be sad to see that rain end if that goes away.
Poor Ian App.
So I managed to get annoyed last night at Hap on a play that he wasn't involved in, but he should have been involved in.
Okay.
And that was So that diving catch Pete made last night, where he came in and dove for it was an amazing catch. It's one of the best catches.
I saw your post on this. Yeah.
When you watch the replay of it, and then another guy did a screen cap that showed a lot of the field. Hap is in left, and you see him simply jogging straight in to leave the field. Pete is like done the Superman jump. If that gets by him, Hap has not gotten himself in any position to go chase the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Right. Like we know you're not going to be able to cut it off, but you have to go chase it.
Yep.
And you might want to start now. Like most outfielders would belly back around to give himself an angle. He's just trotting in like, well, he'll probably catch it. And he did. Mm-hmm. It's like, we just keep seeing these examples of zero effort from that guy.
Yeah.
Just like when he wouldn't get behind home plate to, it's like, what the he was Mr. Great Teammate, who everybody loves. They were going on about it tonight in the pregame about, it's like, well, we see a lot of examples where he's fucking not. I just don't get it. And I know I pick on him all the time, but he keeps giving me reasons to get
exactly. Are we certain though? I mean, you did say he ran in the other direction, but are we certain though that with his speed, if he did run in that direction, he still would not have been in the camera shot because he's that slow.
And I get that. It's probably a home run if it gets by Pete, but it's Hap's job to chase the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How bad would that have looked because you know who would have chased it then? Because the only guy coming in a tryout was the Dansby. The shortstop ends up in the picture, not the left fielder, because Dansby hustled his ass out just in case. How would that have looked if the shortstop chased the ball all the way to the ivy while the left fielder stood there with his thumb up his ass?
All right. Yeah.
I got pissed off at Michael Bush in the first inning a couple days ago.
Was it for the weird way he catches pop-ups?
No,
drives me nuts.
As long as he catches them, I don't give a shit. No, he was on first base. There was first and third.
Yeah, this was bad.
One out.
Yeah. Yep.
And on that ground ball to first base, he just slid in. What the fuck are you doing?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
When he could have gotten a run down. Yeah.
All he has to do is stop. And the run scores.
Yep. Right. Yes.
Yep. If they have to come tag him, the run scores and the inning's over.
Yeah.
And the somebody was saying, well, he can't see that. What position does he play? He plays first base. So he knows, right, that the first baseman's play is that ball is hit to the bag, is to step on the bag and throw it out for the tag. So there's no reason for him to just blindly run to second base.
Right, and it's not like I don't mind him running to second base. He has to run to second base, but like to your point, just stop.
Yes, that's what I mean.
You don't have to slide in.
He just obliviously ran like he was trying to beat the throw to second. It's like that there's not going to be a fourth anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the worst thing that happens if you're wrong and there is a force there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not the same thing.
Right.
You're going to get thrown out.
You're going to be out. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
There's no reason for you to go to the bag.
Right.
The only way you're going to be safe is a bad throw. And if you stop and there's a bad throw, you just run into the bag and you're safe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is maybe one where I'm trying to think. Who's the Cubs first base coach? Jose Javier. Maybe that's one where like you look at him and say like, hey, maybe you should tell him that the force
should be
is
the
off.
third base coach.
But who knows if he did? He probably got something out
because he's more looking at the third base coach. So
out to Bush.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, there ought to be a real team. There's like a word that you yell.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like it's it's kind of the baseball equivalent of yelling poison when a punt has landed and it's bouncing around with a bunch of guys trying to block for the they don't know the ball, so they don't get hit by the ball.
Right.
There has to be something you yell to let a guy know that the force is off. Apparently, that's not something they can put on the iPad that they can all stare at in the dugout. Seems to be all they're really interested in.
Right.
I forget what announcer. Somebody was having an old man moment where the team that he was announced for was struggling, and they showed the dugout, and there's like two guys both looking at the iPad, and he's like, "All right, time to throw those iPads right in the garbage. You know what you need to do? You need to watch some baseball. Look up. There's a game going on in front of you. Sitting there with your nose in front of the freaking iPad." All right. Well, I think we gave Jed a lot to think about.
Yeah. Hopefully he listens.
No reason for him to not. So next time we do this podcast, it'll be a review of his efforts at the deadline.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have a lot to talk about.
We'll be getting our Skubal jerseys ordered.
Yeah, by then they better be in.
It's funny you bring that up because in 2019, after like maybe a few hot weeks of Nick Castellanos being here, I actually did go to Sports World across the street from Wrigley, and I had a Nick Castellanos jersey custom made. And then lo and behold, he wasn't a Cub like 2 months later. So,
well, no, it was more than 2. Remember, he kept waiting. He wouldn't sign that contract with the Reds because he was still waiting for Theo to move an outfielder so he could come back because he wanted to stay.
Right.
Like he wanted to come back because he's like, I'll be a monster in this park. Just let me stay here.
Right.
And he would have been for like 2 years. But that was another part of, we can't. We have Jason Hayward.
Right.
We're stuck. But thank God he gave that speech that they've talked about nonstop for another. That speech has come back again as the most important oratorical moment in the history of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you can watch the Theo one.
Yes.
Where Theo talks about it. He had an interesting story, and people have written about this, maybe saw it.
Yeah.
That while the guys were having their speech, him and Chris Antonetti, the GM of the Indians, were meeting with like the umpires and the grounds crew and Rob Manfred.
Yep.
And Rob got a text, and he looked at it and he laughed. And Theo was like, "What is it?" And he said, "Fox has said that if we can suspend the game and restart it tomorrow night in prime time, it would be worth like X million dollars to Fox." And they're both like, fuck that.
Yeah, what?
You imagine if the rain had stopped 17 minutes later and they had sent everybody home? There'd been a fucking riot.
Holy shit.
Right.
You're ridiculous.
It was funny. Theo's first thought was, well, we'll have a roll this again for tomorrow because he's still in the game. It's like, really? You want to do that again? Let's bring him out one more time. Let's try it again. Let's go 3 nights in a row. Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man. All right.
Well, you guys we got to quit so we can watch Aaron Savali make his re-debut for the Cubs.
Sweet.
Thank God we got an ace finally.
Many of us have herpes.
Post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.
It's fitting. It's got to be done with one of the best games of all time. Just unbelievable. I mean, got to congratulate the Dolan family.
Thank you. Sean, my podcast co-host Andy, you were his favorite player growing up.
Oh, thank you so much,
awesome.
Andy.